It was as snug as a bug in a rug. I found a plug and a plug and a plug in my plug.
You're watching JD's Variety Channel.
Okay, so I've been driving through the mountains in a very rural area for like the last 15 minutes, and I just had to show this off the side of the road. Check out this old chimney that's just kind of in the middle of this field over here. And you can see there's all kinds of young trees around it now, so the house that's here would have burnt down a long time ago. But as some motorcycles drive past, check that out. Let's try to get a shot from over here. That is pretty cool. Yep, I just saw that off the side of the road sitting back in there. So that was probably a super old, I'd guess for this area, probably a mid to late 1800s house. And all right, we'll keep on the road. As you can see, it's dark. The hunt for this video has already taken place. It's at an old brick school. I found some really neat stuff. But anyway, you'll have to watch the video to find out exactly what I found. I just wanted to do a quick intro and let you guys know that I got some videos coming. I just didn't get around to editing yet. A little bit backed up on footage. I have one more video from my trip to West Virginia. And I also have a metal detecting hunt in Virginia that was a few weeks back with Jerry and Vic. And just some random solo footage as well. So stay tuned for that, and I hope you enjoy the video. Shh. All right, first signal down in the hole, about 3 to 4 inches in between some iron, and it looks like we have an old wheat penny. Right on. You can actually see the date on it, 1948. So that's great for a first coin. The ground's pretty dry, but that's a good sign. We'll keep working it. Okay, next signal was only about an inch down, and it looks like a modern dime. Pretty crusty, might have been under there a while. Looks like 1970 something. All right, we'll keep at it. Okay, so over the last few minutes, I got the end of an old pull tab there and a end of a pencil. You always find them around schools. But anyway, I finally locked onto another coin signal. We're gonna do this one live. And move this crazy little grub out of the way. He was inside the hole anyway. Signal's not very deep, so maybe just a modern coin. But we will see. It is a copper penny though, 1973. All right, so the 3 coins we found, 2 from the 70s and 1 from the 1940s. So not bad. I think we're gonna hit some oldies here. Okay, I got another nice coin signal here. I want to try this one live just in case it's something old. Just a very solid, clear penny or dime signal. Very clear. Got a little bit of depth on it. If you don't count the grass, it's probably about 3 inches down, but the soil is very dense here, so 3 inches is actually pretty good. All right, let's see if this is going to be an old coin or not. It's definitely not a zinc penny, too high for that. So if it's a penny, it's at least going to be copper. There it is right here. And it is an, looks like a clad dime, but once again, looks like an older one. 1973. All right, so the fact that even all the clad we're hitting here is from the 70s, I think that's a good sign. Seems pretty original. Sweet. Okay, we got a shocker here. There's this little patch where the ground's a little bit different. It's got like a different type of grass growing through. I don't know what happened right here, but I had a choppy, bouncy signal, and it actually sounded like a high tone, like but like it could be iron because it was squeaking really strange. And so I dug this hole here, and I flipped open my plug, and the last thing I expected was a low conductive signal. It looks like the face of the Indian there. Looks like we have a buffalo down here about 3.5 inches poking out of the clay there. It's pretty cool, so let's check it out. So I'll check it with the pinpointer again and the detector to see if potentially it's an old coin spill. But look at that, it's a nice one. It's got a clean date on it, 1934. That is very cool. I'm very pleased with that find. And let's go ahead, turn the pinpointer on and check it again, just with this. Well, there's some signals, but it could be iron. I don't think that's a solid signal, but I will run the detector over again, and if there's something else down there, we will do it live.
A quick shot of the 1934 Buffalo nickel cleaned up. You can clearly see the date on it there. It's got a little bit of wear, but looking pretty good for coming out of the ground. No mint mark, made in Philadelphia, 1935 Buffalo nickel. Did I say 35? I meant 34.
So that last hole didn't have anything else in it except a lot of iron, I could tell, and the signal was bouncing down a little bit, so it was just a Buffalo nickel mixed in with all the iron. But about 5 minutes later, I just got the most modern coin so far, shallow nickel signal. It is a 1989 Jefferson nickel. All right, moving on. So my last two junk signals were a pull tab and a piece of the can, and I got two signals that were shallow that I thought were going to be modern coins, and it was these two cut thick strips of aluminum that rang up super high. Like this smaller one rang up like a penny, and the other one rang up almost like a quarter. That's pretty strange. Let's keep searching. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just made a world record for finding plugs in my plug. I've done it before, but I've never done it like this. Check this out. I found a plug in a plug in a plug. I know the sun's casting a weird shadow there, seeping through this tree. That is too funny. A plug in a plug in a plug. Okay, I just got some kind of weird rolled up sheet of metal that was very deep, about 7 inches in this thick soil. Started rolling it a little bit, and it has some writing on it. Looks like some numbers and letters on there. So, here it says something down there. Not sure exactly what it is, but I will try to figure it out later. Too dirty right now. Okay, it's been a good 7-8 minutes maybe, and not getting a whole lot of signals in this schoolyard, but it's in a rural area, so probably not very rich kids back in the day, but there's not a lot of trash either. But I got a nickel here, and it looks like a Jefferson, but it looks like an older one, so let's uncover the date here together and see how old exactly it is. Can't quite tell on there. Let me wipe it off a second and we'll check it out. So it is a nice oldie, and you can see where it broke off the plug right there. It was only about 2 inches down, but it is an oldie. It is a 1953, no mint mark, so it's from Philadelphia. Sweet. We'll keep on the lookout. Well, I made an old find that's not from the brick school here. Very, very old square now, about 6 inches deep. You can see there's a lot of old homes right around in here. I may have to door knock that one someday if the people are home right next here to the school. Doesn't look super old, but that could be turn of the century. You can see the nice old double chimneys on it. It's had a lot of repair work and a new roof. But yep, got us an old square now. Well, it's been a while since I found me some of this. I found a big lump of coal. And if coal is large enough, it can give off a signal kind of like a low conductor, like a nickel. You can see the pinpointer definitely reads it. And that's what the signal was. Let's see what it sounds like in the detector. Huh, isn't really giving off much of anything right now, but you can see the pinpointer reads it. And when it was in the ground, it was peeping in a little bit. It was like a faint nickel tone. There's nothing else in there. But that's it, lump of coal. So there's a little bit of a look at the skull I'm hunting, an old brick one. And I'm not showing the whole thing because it has the name of the skull right on it, and I don't want to show this area, but I was looking through this front section right here. Nice open grassy area around some old houses. And that's where I found all the targets up until now. And I'm working on the opposite side of the property in this big field. And right here, there's an old path that snakes from there, goes up to about there, and then cuts down toward the road. So I'm not sure if this was an old path, like a shortcut for the kids coming from that way. It's possible. It doesn't appear like it used to be an old house here, otherwise the steps would have just went up to about there and stopped. But this kind of angles diagonally toward the school. So I started working in around here by this old path, and I got a deep coin down in the hole here, so I'm going to show it to you in a second. But anyway, let's get my little knife out here so I can point to it. It is right. You can see the edge of it right there. I'm going to pop that out. And, oh yeah, that looks old. It is a 1938 wheat penny. Oldest coin so far. That was a sketchy signal down there a good 4 inches. So I'm going to keep working around this old sidewalk here. Seems like it's going to be a decent spot. It looks like it's possible there used to be an old house right here at some point, and maybe they took one of the paths that used to go up to the house and added this on for the skull. It's hard to say, but it looks a little peculiar there. I'll have to check around with the detector to see if the ground is disturbed there, like it's filled in. But anyway, it's been really slow going on this side, other than I found some really old style pull tabs. But out here by the road, I got a signal. It's this one right here. This could be an old coin, I'm not certain. It's kind of the signal we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and try and dig this one up live. And we'll see. The soil's very soft on this end. Pinpointer's going nuts. Very mineralized soil. I'm gonna run it over the plug again and see if it chirps out and the signal's in there. It's probably something small and junky. No? May still be down there. Might be over this way a little bit. I'll fish around here a little bit. When I find it, I'll let you know. Well, I did find it. It was kind of down in this bottom right corner here. It's a 1982 dime. But at least another coin, and the newest one I found so far is from 1989. So a little bit of a time capsule here. Now that I'm down here, I'm thinking this looks like a driveway that would have come out up to the house that was sitting right in here. You can see how it's kind of sunken in on the corners. And maybe the skull connected to the driveway where the old house used to be, and then just made this path up to the skull. That's my best guess. It's very strange because it definitely looks like a driveway at the base of it, and I'm almost certain that a house was torn out of here. But anyway, over the last 10 minutes I haven't found any coins. Been getting an assortment of the old style pull tabs. A lot of different kinds right there. But still working up on the edge of the sidewalk and kind of up and down through here a little bit. And we gotta find something else. Stand by. Okay, after a few more pull tabs, I'm finally onto a signal here that may be another coin. It's not very deep, but I'm right here on the base of what looks like that old driveway and what turns into the sidewalk. It's all covered by dead grass, but you can kind of see it there. Nice high conductor, 80 to 82. And then this way, it's kind of higher like a silver dime, but when it bounces, sometimes that means it's not a coin, but you never know. It's not super deep. We're gonna try this one live, see what it is. Because the only coins I found on in this section have been the 1982 dime, or 83, something like that, and that a 1938 wheat penny. And that should be plenty deep. Oh, I popped it. You can see it right there on the bottom of the hole. That was a good shot. It looks old. Ooh, it's only a memorial though. But yes. Oh yes, it's high relief. The question is, will it be a 59? It's going to be 1959 to 1968. Put in your guess in the comments right now. And the date is 1968. Last year of the high relief. All right, on to the next. So I was able to confirm there was definitely a building down there. A lot of trash around the edges of it, you know, kind of iron, it gets more mineralized. Definitely was an old building or house sitting right there. Probably a house, it was probably level with that one. sitting right about there. But anyway, I'm sure this has all been dug up. They got telephone poles. They got a newer building up this way. They probably ran pipes up through here. But anyway, I got this little bit of a signal right here. When I hit this one direction, let's turn the volume up a little bit. There's a little notch here where it gives off a really awesome high signal. But when I turn, it's hard to lock onto. So this could be nothing. I'm not going to do this one live, but hopefully it's an old coin. Maybe not on this one. Well, we sniffed that one out between the iron. I popped the plug and I saw another penny in the hole, but it looks like it's just another memorial. So the coins are kind of deep over here. We got a grub over there. Yeah, a little grub. But this one's 1971. I came back up by the front of the skull. I didn't hit up this far before. I started out on the bottom of this grade, which is where I find the 1948 wheat penny. Found, not find. But anyway, got a deep, sketchy signal here. Ended up about 6 inches down, and it's more so clay up here. But I popped it out. It's in this little ball, very concentrated, so hopefully it's an old coin, but we're going to find out. It's in here. Ooh. I hope that's not it, that little thing. That's a really weird shaped rock right there. It's still in here. And what do we got? Oh. I don't think that was the signal. Because that's really just a little tiny little nail. Alright, I'll check the hole again, see if there's more. So that last hole down over here ended up just having quite a few different nails in it, which made it squeak through because there was a bunch of them. But anyway, just got the newest coin by the flagpole right here. Only an inch down, 1991. Newest coin so far. So slowing down a bit, but I'm going to keep working at it. I came up by the old sidewalk one more time. Last time I went back and forth this way, and now I'm doing up and down, gridding it off. Not really finding any signals I missed except for this one, about 5 inches down in the soft soil. Pretty crappy signal, but I can see it here. It is the edge of a coin. Looks to be a penny. Let's see if it's old. It's right next to where I found that 68 memorial. So it may not be super old, but we'll see. Actually, it is a wheat penny. Don't need to see the back. You can see the date right on there, 1945. So I guess I'll keep working it slow, because once in a while I just get a little tiny bit of a signal down there, a good ways. And we got us another wheat penny. That's kind of weird. On that last hunt at that old house for the old coins, I found a buffalo nickel and 3 wheats. Well, and an Indian, and today I got a buffalo nickel and 3 wheats. So let's see if we can beat that. Got another one of them faint signals down in this soft soil. I got a pull tab about 6 inches down a minute ago. Almost down at this one. It was ringing up in like the high 70s when it came in. So we'll do it live just in case it's another old coin. Nope, I don't think so. I think that's it right there. Another pull tab. Ooh, this is a gold one. It's gold! Not the kind we're looking for though. Whew, not gonna be able to see this real well with the sun. But I came in behind what would have been the backyard of whatever building was here back in the day, if it was, you know, like an old house. I assume it was. You can see all the farmland, old houses down and through here. Real pretty area. But anyway, I found some remnants of something that was tore out. Probably had something to do with this old school building. You can see this right here. This rock. It's got a straight edge on it. You can see my foot running across it there. So that's definitely not natural. Kind of buried under there. Kind of makes like a rectangular shape and filled in at some point, so I don't know what that used to be. But just back and forth over the last 10 minutes here, and no good signals worth digging, just shallow trash sounds, like almost right on top. And I got a signal here that sounds like a coin. You can see I'm very close to the backyards of these super old houses here that look to be, man, these could even go back to like the 1870s or so, around in there, I would guess. But anyway, let me show you this signal. It's actually very high. Now the grass is thick here, so it's probably not going to be more than 2 to 3 inches down tops. We're definitely going to try it live though, just in case it's something good. All right, let's check it out. Oh, I need to get a little bit more under there. There we go. Okay. Oh, I see it. It looks like a penny down there. I hope this is old, because if it is, I'm going to grid this field very well back here. No, it's copper, but it's just a memorial. Looks like the high relief, probably going to be from the 60s again. Well, guys, you knew it was coming. I cleaned it off. The curse continues. The 1959 first year issue memorial. And this one's really cruddy looking. But if there's a 59 memorial back here, there could be anything. Okay, not really. Well, I think my old house theory is complete now, because we just got us a mason jar lid. Kind of catty corner to where I think it was tore out right there. There you go. Old house trash. Okay, so maybe an old coin here. I'm about a yard away from that mason jar lid, kind of by that telephone pole. And check this out. 84. Little choppy. Well, actually, it seems smaller. You never know if that could be a silver dime, but it's a weird signal. Most of the signals here are weird because of the ground mineralization. But when you walk into that one, it's got that nice squeak to it. Pretty inconsistent on the numbers, though. That way it sounds the best. 89, 84, 87, 88. Doesn't want to pinpoint super good, but probably because there's a lot of iron around it. We're going to try this one live, because if it is a coin, that's the kind of signal that can be like an old silver dime. Just by the squeak of it, even though the numbers aren't as consistent, it just sounds good. Lots of ants. Well, it seems like it's the right size, and it's in the bottom of the hole, which is what we want. So this is going to be about probably 4 to 4.5 inch. Ooh, there it is right there. Actually closer to 3 inches because it was right on top here. Looks like another wheat penny. 1955 Denver. So we got wheat pennies from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. Now let's go backward and do the 20s. But I'll take that. I thought if it was going to be a coin, it might be a silver dime, but 59 memorial way in the back over there. This here, the mason jar lid right there. I think I'm going to stay in this section. Okay, I'm sitting on the edge of what I think used to be the old home site filled in here, and I had a big signal that was down deep, and I wanted to dig it just to see what it was to corroborate my story. I got down about 6-7 inches, and it's the insert to an old mason jar lid. And as I was digging down, I found a piece of old pottery also. So yep, this is definitely where the old house site sat. So what the heck, even though the signals are slow and I'm not finding a whole lot, I may as well try to find old stuff from here instead of working on the, you know, the far and few between old coins from the school. Maybe there's something really cool down here. Blasting signal out in the front of the old home site sounded too good to be true, sloping right down to the road. Beautiful scenery here. Not going to show up real good with the sun over there at the moment, but in about 10 minutes we'll have a really good view that way. But anyway, big piece of aluminum. It says Frigidaire on it. That's pretty old. I guess it came off of an old refrigerator. It's almost like a handle. Maybe it's an antique ice dispenser. Who knows? No idea. Somebody comment. Let me know. I was locked onto the old farm relics in this section here. I was onto a coin signal. Thought I was going to be onto an old silver. And it's a 1994 dime. Alright, now you can see the view a little bit better. The sun down. Beautiful area here. But anywho, working very, very, very slow up in the front here, which would have been the front lawn of the old house. I dug a hole here earlier. I don't know what I found there, but I was doing a pattern, a different pattern. I had a signal only about 7 inches away from it. It locked in the direction I'm going. And I popped the plug. You can see the imprint right there with the grass root that it was plastered down on. And it looks like a very old disc, which looks like it's not a penny, it's a nickel. It rang up really high. It's another Buffalo. 1935, you can see the date on it. This soil is just making these coins have crazy signals. That was way too high for a Buffalo. But let me check it again. I thought that was going to be an old crusty wheat penny. Well, there might be something else on that side. Let's fish around a little bit live. Let's widen this a little bit, just in case. It could just be a nail down there. Hopefully it's an old spill. Let's get this pulled up here. Oh, there's some foil. So that could have been why the signal was screwed up a little bit too. Yeah, I think that was it. It's a Buffalo nickel and with a little bit of aluminum trash. Gave off a wacky signal. But a pretty Indian right there, 1935, to go with my 1934. I'll keep working it.
So check that out. This Buffalo nickel is one of the best conditioned dug ones I've ever found. It has the very bold 1935 date. You got the Liberty letters completely separated from the rim. You got detail in the feathers. And on the reverse, you can even see the full horn, and that it has no mint mark on the bottom. So when this was dropped, it was in new or like new condition for sure. It could have been, right from the bank, uncirculated when it was dropped. That is just an absolute beautiful Buffalo nickel to dig out of the ground.
Okay, so I just made a pretty good find, but I want to fill you in on the story first. So the guy that lives in the brick house that's behind me, that's right across the road, just to the right of the horses I was showing you, he's an old timer. He has a hearing aid. He's lived there a long time. He said that this building that was tore out right here that I thought could have been an old house out on the end of the road here, he said it's actually an old home economics building from, a long time ago from this school. And this path right here was put in so that the girls could walk down from the school into the home economics home or class area, or whatever you want to say. So it could have been built more, probably was a home. But anyway, I don't know, maybe they were teaching them how to can, who knows, because I found 3 of them mason jar lids. But anyway, let me show you what I found here. Oh, and he said there was a building, like I showed, in behind it. It was like kind of an overflow thing because the school was pretty big, and eventually they tore it down when they didn't need it. But I got really deep here in the front soft section where I found that 1945 wheat penny, and I got an old, looks to be some kind of old pendant. Could be a Catholic pendant. I'm not certain, but not silver, but like an old copper one. It's really small. Really had to go slow to hear this signal because it was down about 5 inches too.
So we got the copper pendant after a little bit of cleaning there, and I called that one, "I am a Catholic. In case of an accident, kindly notify a priest." So there you go. Little religious pendant. Alrighty, so we're just going to do a brief recap here. There is all the crapola I dug. I still have to unfold this thing and see what it says, but 3 mason jar lids, aluminum, a boatload of pull tabs. Ooh, there's another clad coin I missed in there. Okay, there you go. But anywho, here's what I found. Not a whole lot of coins and relics on that property, but I'm very happy with what I found and that I was able to save this stuff from the ground. Ended up with 5 dimes, 1 nickel, 5 pennies. Then for the old stuff, there was 4 wheats, 1938, 1948, 1945, 1955D. Got that old square nail. I got the plug and a plug and a plug in my plug. And we got that piece of pottery there. And I thought this was cool. I really wanted to set this out and show this to you guys. I found like almost every different style pull tab ever invented in that around that school there. This is one of the original ones. They made these from like 1962 to 1964. That's as old as you get on a pull tab, so that's actually pretty cool right there. These type are like 1965 to 1980-ish. These are 1980s around in there, and then these are the present day one that go from around the like 1990 to present. So that was pretty interesting. You can see the progression of technology there. So what I think I'm gonna do is we are gonna do an auction. So that auction is going to be for the original 1962 to 1964 pull tab. Some of you people probably have never seen this style before, except for all of you who metal detect frequently. I'm sure you've dug one up. But they're actually not that common to find because they only made them for a few years. So I'm going to put it up for auction. Somebody can add it to your collection. Or, you know, I was thinking about selling the plug and a plug and a plug, but, you know, it's bulkier to ship. But if you want it, leave an offer down below. Maybe I'll sell it to you. But I'm going to put the auction below. We're going to do an auction for this original historic pull tab, and we're going to see how high it goes. Probably not more than a couple bucks, but it'll be fun anyway. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, so we're just going to do a brief recap